Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Player Red TCG. I'm here with Just Mike. He's going to be going over Gogeta. He is our best
And only.
best and only Gogeta black player. We have to say black because we have new colors coming out for Gogeta really soon. Take it away, Mike.
Which, ironically, I might actually play yellow as well. But yeah, so this is Gogeta. Pretty basic, standard on the front side. When attacking, draw one card. What's not standard on this leader, though, is if you notice, when your life is at 4 or less, flip this card over. So you do not get to draw when you awaken.
R.I.P.
Yeah, they decided that the effect was too strong. So on the back side, sorry. When attacking, draw one card, and then activate main once per turn. You tap one. If you don't have an energy marker, you may place one energy marker. And then a lot of people, I've seen people wonder like, oh, if I tap my marker, do I get the marker back? And the answer is yes. So it'll come up in one of the cards that we're going to discuss, but that does work that way. So I am at 52 cards in my list. I'm pretty dead set on that. I like having a little bit more flexibility than just being at the standard 50. So there's two ways you can run this deck. There's the Another World package, which is basically like a tribal list. So you run all of those cards. You run PyCon. I am actually running black good stuff basically. So all of the generically good black cards, those are what I'm going to be running. So starting off with our extras, I got two 10 times Kamehamehas. So activate main, choose one, choose up to one battle card with a cost of 2 or less and KO it. And then if you remove the marker, you can KO 2, 3 costs or less. So pretty prevalent right now. Honestly, it's been prevalent. There's a case to be made to run 3. I honestly prefer the 2 because I think 3 is just too big of a brick. But this card's definitely useful, especially like into some of your red matchups where everybody's playing the chain basically, where you drop the 4-drop into the 3-drop into like a 2-drop. So for this, you can answer the 2s and the 3s.
It just puts so many decks behind, right?
Yeah,
it's a nice answer to Go Tanks. It's a good answer to even the Bardock, right?
Yeah, like
2 drops.
Yeah, if they decide that hey, they're gonna want to drop a Bardock using the energy marker, then you get to punish them. So you get rid of one of their cards that they can't get back, and also too, it sets them further behind. And honestly, you're not setting yourself too far behind by doing that. It doesn't really feel bad at all. This deck excels really once you get to like turn 3. But yeah, good defensive card.
You get like a little bit into the tougher matches too, like with Red Gohan and Khalifa, the 3 drops. I mean, you can burn to get rid of.
Like really, honestly, especially like even honestly too, like a lot of people like kind of talk about using marker. The answer of honestly even just tapping an energy and playing it for the 1 to KO a 2 cost is actually not that bad. Like you said in Khalifa, a lot of people are actually running like the crit Vegeta. So this answers the crit Vegeta. So you can also swing into that crit Vegeta. They combo out, and then it's like great because then it's like now you're popping it. So they just negged a card, and you got rid of the body anyways when you weren't really wanting to swing at their life anyways, because you don't really want to turbo awaken them. You really want to force them to play your game. But yeah, so really great defensive card. Yeah, really good. Definitely a 2 of. There's a case to be made to run it at 3, but I just prefer it at 2. And then the other card, so this is Ultimate Sparking. It is honestly, in my opinion, the only black deck that should be running more than one of this card. Again, case could be made to run it at 3, so you see it. I like it at 2. I think 2 is a very solid number, especially because you can grab this back, and we'll go over that card as well. But basically, activate battle, opponent's turn only. Your card that is in a battle gets plus 20k, and then if you burn the marker, you can actually choose one of your opponent's battle cards, and it can attack for that turn. It doesn't rest it, it doesn't stun it, it just makes it so that they can attack with that card. So if they have cards like, for example, in Gohan, they're still able to rest them for effect. it just takes away that extra swing. And honestly, sometimes opponents will forget about this card, or they just will think that you haven't seen it yet. And when they forget about it, then that's when it's your turn to punish them for forgetting about this. Also, too, it's basically another super combo that you would have to pay for. Sometimes you just tap the one energy because you want to keep the energy marker for next turn as well. Having that extra plus 20k can sometimes be the difference maker between losing a body or even losing the game.
Perfect.
And then our other and last and final extra card is Soul Punisher. So I've always been a super big fan of this card. Not big enough where I'm going to run it at more than one. Running it at more than one honestly just feels like a big brick. But having this one Soul Punisher, it does a lot of damage to an opponent's board. And then also too, people weren't really running this beforehand, so you really can still catch people by surprise with this card. So what it does is it's a 4-cost extra. Activate main, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and you get to KO it. Doesn't matter the cost, doesn't matter the power level. You tap 4 energy and you get to kill something. And then it does have a second effect, kind of like the 10 times. So if you burn the marker, you can actually KO 2 things versus just one. So this card really can be destructive, especially like in the Black Mirror, where if you're playing like against GT Goku, for example, and they drop the GT Goku that generates the marker on play that has Goku's lineage, that then lets them drop a 5-drop Bardock. So you can punish them for doing that, and you get to pop both of those cards for 4 costs. It does eat your whole turn, but sometimes that little defensive option of clearing their boards helps out in the long run of the game.
Catches you back up.
Yeah. So this card right here, I am running 2 cantrips. I am only running 2 cantrips. These are the only 2 that I'm running. There can be a discussion to eliminate these and just go to 50. Honestly, I just like having where if I am going second, I would like to have a turn 1 play. So for those of you that don't know, when you go second, you get to start with marker. And because I do not need to generate the marker, I can just drop one of these guys. If I see it, I see it. If I don't, then I don't. It's not really a big deal if you don't see it or not. And honestly, there could be the discussion in this list to completely cut it. But it is a 5K. It does let you go through and cycle your deck because it does have that draw 1. So there is that option. And then, kind of like I discussed earlier, I am playing black good stuff. So we run 2 Paraparas on play. If you remove the energy marker to use this card, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards. Doesn't matter the cost or the power level. You get to make it so that they can't attack with it. Again, this isn't a stun. It's more so a freeze. So it can really be beneficial, like when you know that they have a big body on board, that they're going to be swinging at you. For example, maybe it's a double striker that they dropped, or maybe it's a 6-drop like the UI Gokus. Because at our locals, we do have some red players who are running UI Goku still. So for this, it allows you to play it, freeze it, and then it gives you an extra turn to potentially find the answer to deal with that body that they just dropped. And also, too, it is a 10K, which 10Ks are honestly always important. Next 1-drop we have here is Giru. Honestly, this card has kind of been, in my opinion, a little lackluster. He's just kind of there to fix the math. So your opponent drops a 1-drop, whether they're dropping like, a cantrip, so kind of your on-play draw 1.
He's also a good card when you're going second.
He is also a good card when you go second. So they drop their 1-drop cantrip. You get to play this, kill that. Or say, for example, a lot of people in the Black Mirror match, they're trying to Turbo Awaken, so they'll drop like their Chi-Chis, and honestly, when they drop the Chi-Chis on the turn 1, that's when this guy comes in clutch. You drop it, you pop it. That's really all he's there for. He's there to fix the math of those annoying cards. Red, he'll pop Whis. Green, he'll pop the Piccolo cantrip that they're using to chain for the Nail Piccolo combo. And also too, this card does come up in the Gotenks matchup because people are running that one drop Piccolo that is a blocker. So you get to drop this, you just deal with a 35k blocker for one cost. And it doesn't eat up one of your swings.
Also, the Murray's in green.
The Murray's in green, yeah. And then next one drop we have, this is definitely going to be a controversial take for some people. I am only running 2 Hercules. Honestly, I feel that I don't need to run more than 2. It just eats up more slots in the deck, and which basically takes away from the math of potentially drawing cards that I do need. Plus also too, he's just, in all honesty, because of the ratios that we're at, I don't need to see him as often as I used to. He is a 10k, so that is why we are running him at 2, but I wouldn't run him at any more than 3. I think 3 is honestly pushing it. But yeah, just a really good, solid black card. On play, if you have the marker, you get to add up to 1 non-Hercule card with a cost of 1 or less from your drop to your hand, which basically grabs all of these other cards that we have gone over, excluding Soul Punisher. So we do have a couple targets in the deck, and honestly, the most on target right over here, which we are about to go over. But yeah, solid card. Honestly, there's really no reason to be running more than 3 of this card. I just personally like it at 2. I think 2 is a solid number that isn't clumping up the deck. And then again, it is a 10k. So this card is a 3 of. In my opinion, 4 is just too many. So Chi-Chi, on play, you get to add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. And then she does have an auto, so when this card is used in a combo from the battle area, so you do have to play her first, but once you combo her from the battle area, you get to choose 1 card from your drop. So for example, if I'm swinging with leader, I combo with the Chi-Chi, I have a Hercule in drop, then I get to now combo with an extra 10k. So it does essentially make it an offensive super combo. There are times when you can use this defensively. I don't really recommend it because there are so many answers to trying to use her defensively. So there's so many ways that they can pop this, and then also too, even in yellow, they can rest it, and then you don't get the effects because you can't combo with it. Blue has so many answers to bottom deck it. Red can just minus it. Yeah, so I really only drop her when I absolutely know that I'm going to use her offensively. And then kind of tying into back to Hercule a little bit. So Hercule's also a good card because essentially it does kind of act like another Chi-Chi. So you get to play Hercule, grab back 10k from drop. Doesn't have to necessarily be this one. It could be Giru, Para, but it is kind of essentially like 5 targets that you have to get free 20k swings on offense. But yes, really solid card. I am only running it at 3 because I just don't think that it is 4 of good. There's only a handful of cards that we are running 4 ofs in this deck, and we are actually about to go over one of those cards right now. So this is the only 1 drop that I am running at 4. This is Viku. So on play, if your leader is Gogeta and you don't have the marker, you add 1 card from your life to your hand, and then you place 1 energy marker.
I always forget his name. I don't know why I always want to say Vecna, like from Stranger Things.
Well, I know some people say Vaku, some people say Veku, or I don't know.
Why couldn't he have just been called, like, you know, the way Gotenks does the other fusion?
He's still Gotenks.
Fat Tanks.
Yeah, they just tanks. Fat Tanks and Skinny Tanks.
This one should have been, you know, Fat Gogeta, or for the proper terminology, I guess the heavier version of Gogeta.
Right.
Before we get canceled, before we start.
Yeah, before. Yeah. So honestly, this card is a super key card of the deck. That is why we are running 4 of. This, in my opinion, is a must run at 4. And then just kind of touching upon what we said when we were talking about the effect. So if you notice, there are the cards that we went over. It is add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. This one is, you get no such option. So if you're going to play this card, you have to take the life. So if you are at 1, do not play this card because you will essentially lose the game. but it's a really good card, especially when you're going first or second. Or sorry, when you're going first, you ideally want to see this in your opening hand, and then if you see it on your second turn, that's still good. It still puts you on curve. You're still on track for a winning recipe, but yeah, definitely a 4 of. I highly recommend you running it at 4. Anything less is just, in my opinion, kind of crazy, and that goes for this build where it's solid black stuff, and then the Another World package. But yeah, really good card. Adds a life to hand, generates you the marker, is a 5k combo, so it's literally everything you could possibly want in a card, besides it being a 10k, obviously, but that'd just be too good. So for our 2 drops, we are only running 4 2 drops in total. So one of them being Pan, on play, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then when attacking, you tap 1, you get to draw 1 card, and then if you use the marker for this effect, then you not only get to draw 1 card, but you also get to bounce a 4 cost or less to your opponent's hands. So really solid card, lets you cycle the deck, removes bodies. Yes, even though it bounces to their hand, it still does provide an answer to certain problem bodies. For example, in red, there's Jiren, or even the Mirror if they're running the Secret, or they're running one of their 3-drop Bardocs, so they can't drop a 5-drop.
And go back and we'll talk about. We're gonna keep mentioning the deck over and over, but we can talk about Go Tanks too.
Yeah.
Your opponent can burn their marker to cheat out Go Tanks early. This will punish them too.
Yeah, so it kind of takes them off their track. So it's that little bit of disruption, which really adds up into that later game. And then this card is a little bit, I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I've honestly debated cutting this guy. I just don't think he's as good as he used to be. There's just so many answers now. Yellow has so many cards that rest now, and then they'll just swing, and then you have to burn cards from your hand. Red just has so much DP reduction, so there's so many answers in that regard. Black, honestly, it's just, again, there's so many answers in terms of removing this guy off the board that they will then move on to your other bodies. But yeah, plus also too, a lot of our cards, and we'll get to kind of the key components of the deck, but there's not much we really want to protect with this card. It does matter in terms of when you are able to put it on the board and they aren't able to answer it. But we're going to go over why this guy isn't necessarily as strong as he once used to be. But I do like it because it's a permanent, so if you have the energy marker, your non-Trunks GT battle cards can't be removed from the battle area by your opponent's skills. And then it is a self-awakener as well. So this really does help out in certain matchups like the yellow matchups where they have KO effects, the blue matchup where they're going to bottom deck, for example, Go Tanks that we keep mentioning, green as well with, I know some lists for Namku are running the 3-drop Gohan, so it does protect from stuff like that. But we're going to go over another card that does also offer some protection, and honestly, it kind of makes it so that this card isn't as good as he once used to be. But it is a 20k, so you can swing with it in case of emergency when the protection isn't necessarily needed as much. But it's honestly just mostly a problem that they have to deal with, and it is also a self-awakener. So this guy is another one of our one-ofs. It's probably our only one-of battle card, if I remember correctly. Actually, that's a lie. There is one more, but so this guy is a blocker. End of your turn, if you have an energy marker, switch this card in a battle area to active mode. So you do get to swing with it, and then as long as you have the marker, it does get to restand, and you get to utilize its blocker effect. So the reason why we are running this card is 1, it's a 10k, and then 2, this is literally just here for the Gohan matchup. That's really all it is to it. He's really just here to block one of those big hits so we aren't taking massive damage and dropping to 2 life where we will be in double strike range. But yeah, it's a 10K. He's really only here for the Gohan matchup, and honestly, you can sometimes just charge it. I know it's a 10K. I know that sounds kind of crazy to want to charge a 10K, but there's honestly just better cards for all of the other matchups. But yeah, that's really what he's here for. He's just here for the Gohan matchup.
Now it's time for the
Oh yeah, this is
boss monster.
yeah, so a lot of people here at our locals kind of give me a little bit of a hard time because I hyped this card up. This is honestly one of my favorite cards in black. So I actually used to be a Bardock player, used to be a Bardock main, and then I switched over to Blue Gohan, and then now I'm here back in black again with Gogeta. But yeah, this card honestly has gotten me out of so many jams. And also too, there is another reason besides it just being cool that we're running it. So for those of you who don't know, it does have an auto once per turn when you use a card in a combo. While this card is in a battle, you get to draw one card, and you also get to switch him to active mode. So you get to swing, you combo, restand, and draw a card. So it cycles, it swings, it restands. Like, what more? It has combo. It's a 20K. Like, it's just such a good utility card. And it gives us a little bit of aggro and aggression in this deck that doesn't necessarily have a lot of that. And he does facilitate another use, which we will get to in our fives. But for 4-drops, we're running 2 secrets. I know it's kind of cringe to cling on to this guy, but being able to generate marker is just too good in this leader. I know we can generate it with our leader effect, but the real thing is you want to end your turn on the marker with this deck because of that ultimate sparking. And then because you're using ultimate sparking defensively, you now don't have it for your turn, which if this guy's on the board, when attacking, generate the marker. So it does give you that option of having the marker on your turn as well. And then end of turn, if your energy marker is removed from the game during the turn, you get to draw 1 card. So he does see himself as being used to remove the marker. So if you have 3 energy and the marker, you tap your 3 energy, burn the marker to play this guy. You swing, generate the marker. He does see himself as having used the marker, so you will still get that end of turn draw. And something I mentioned earlier is a little cheeky play you can do with this leader and only this leader. So if you swing with this guy, generate the marker, you can use your leader effect to flip the marker essentially, and then use it to use his effect to generate the marker again. That also does apply. So if you know you had 4 energy, right? You swing, generate marker, but you have no other way of burning the marker. And honestly, you don't want to burn the marker just for a draw. So just use leader effects. Use your leader skill, tap the energy marker, get it right back, and in turn, get to draw with this guy. Plus, also too, he's a 30K. He doesn't have combo, so that is 1 neg on him. But that's why we are running him at 2 of. If you see him, you see him. If you don't, it's no big deal. But also too, there is one more thing I should add on. I actually do not like Turbo Awakening with this leader, specifically because I'm missing out on a draw. And the longer I can prolong the game, the better it is in my favor. But so because of that, this does allow me to not only generate the marker, but continue to draw cards. But it allows me to also stay unawakened without losing much advantage. So, this guy, we are running 3 of the 5-drop Bardock. This card is a staple in black. If you're not running this card, you're kind of crazy. This card is too good not to run. So it does have a permanent. If you have a card with a cost of 3 or more in Goku's lineage or Bardock's crew, in special traits in battle area, reduce the cost of this card in hand by 2. So
you already know what we have to say. 4?
Yeah. I honestly have just started testing this card, so I was being stubborn, and I finally decided to cave in. But so this guy is honestly a big part of this card. Facilitates the 5-drop, so that is also why we are running the 3-drop. So if you go first, you can play the Viku, generate marker, and then on your next on your second turn, essentially, you get to drop this card. So on turn 3, we get to drop the 5-drop. And we get to start buffing our leader, cycling cards from deck. So I was running this card at 3, but because I added this card, I dropped this down to a 2 of. It essentially does the same thing, but it's honestly just better. The only thing it doesn't do is it doesn't generate the marker. And then when attacking, draw 2 cards, place 1 card from your hand on top of the deck, and then your leader with 20k power or less gets plus 5k power, and that is until the end of your opponent's turn as well. So that's really strong. And another thing is too, so if you are unawakened, you're at 15k, right? So you drop one of these, you swing, you boost your leader up to 20k. You drop the second one, you swing, draw, you get to buff this guy up to another 25. And say I'm at 4 life. Oh yeah, my leader's 30k now. So good luck getting over that. Good luck stopping that. It is only a 1-turn play, but the fact that you can still do that really interrupts the tempo, disrupts it into your favor. But yeah, you can only do that if you have 2 of them, and like I said, if you are unawakened, because of the way this effect is written, because it specifies when your leader with 20k power or less.
It's one of the best black cards that black has right now.
Yeah, and that is honestly why this card is the price that it is. I know these cards are going up, but don't worry, we will get the alt arts. So the other 5-drop and our other one of battle card is 5-drop Bardock. So I am pretty set on this being my double striker. I think all decks should be running at least 1 double striker, maybe 2, depending on your list, unless you're playing like Khalifa, where, you know, it's kind of mandatory that you run 4 of. But for other decks, I definitely highly recommend running at least 1. If you're gonna play the game, at least run 1 double striker. It'll definitely get you out of a jam, especially when your opponent is sitting at 2 life. But for those who don't know, besides being a double striker, activate battle. If you have 2 or more cards in your combo area, you get to choose one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. Doesn't matter the cost, doesn't matter the power, just as long as you have 2 cards in your combo area. And it doesn't apply to this card swinging as well. So if I swing my leader and, you know, I combo with a Chi-Chi, and I get to use the effect to use a second card to combo with, I do still get to proc the Bardock skill. So that is super useful, especially if they like stun it. It doesn't matter if this guy didn't get to swing, and that applies to your other battle cards as well. And then on to the big boys. Gogeta, honestly, if you're playing black, I recommend running this guy at 2. I personally run this guy at 3 because I want to see this card. There are so many big bodies now, especially, you know, with like Kid Goku running around. You have your, honestly, even into the Namku, if you can make it to late game, the effect of them, yes, I'm not running the errata versions, but we did have to have the alt arts. But the way this card works is permanent. Your opponent can't restand cards by skills. So any of their restander effects, whether that's bodies on the board, their leader, energy cards, any of it that they would try to restand, they cannot because of Goku. And then on play, choose up to 1 battle card in your opponent's area and place it into the drop. So it doesn't KO, so they won't get their KO effects. And then if that wasn't enough, you do get to generate the marker with this guy. But yeah, honestly, I really want to see this card. I never charge this card. I know that might sound kind of crazy, but I just really like seeing this card. I like being able to remove a body. I like presenting my own big body as well. And also too, I can swing it into like a 20k that is rested as well. So sometimes you do get to remove 2 bodies. So it's like playing Soul Punisher, but with a body on board. And then the only time I do charge this card though is if I see 2 of these in my opening hand. It's just a brick. Also too, if you are playing against like Khalifa or a Gohan deck, because they present so much aggro, you honestly aren't usually living to see this guy. And that's honestly the same reason why I'm not running the 7-drop. I think the 7-drop, unless you're playing Shenron, is a bit of a mean card. I'm sorry, not really. It is what it is. But yeah, solid card. You always want to see this card, especially late game. When you see it late game, it's just perfection. And then I'm going to hide some of these cards because these are kind of why we're playing Gogeta. But for super combos, really nothing else to explain. I'm running Son Gohan because I think he's cool. I watched Dragon Ball as a kid. But yeah, you can honestly just use any super combo. It doesn't really matter. Unless you're playing the actual Another World deck, then it does matter. Then you want to run the Supreme Kai super combo. But because we aren't running that package, we can run any super combo that we want. Now, like I touched upon, these cards right here, these are why we are running Gogeta. This is what separates us from every other black deck. Uh, I am running one of this guy. This guy is what I affectionately like to call my shotgun. If you have an energy marker, this card in the battle area gets plus 5k. It is also a self-awakener. Now, you might be thinking 30k, body, 3-drop. That's okay. It's not bad, but don't worry. We'll get there. Just trust. Son Goku, 4-drop. This card, honestly, is what makes this deck very competitive. It's what gives you a chance. So on play, choose up to one battle card with the cost of 3 or less in your opponent's battle area and KO it. But this is the effect right here that makes this card so good. So activate main once per turn during this turn. The next time you activate skill on your Gogeta leader, reduce the cost by 1. So if you're following us, that basically means this guy's effect is now free. However, I do want to stress something to everybody. This is an activate main, therefore you must declare it. So as ridiculous as it sounds, I've gotten into the habit here at my locals, activate main, effect. As long as you're making note that you're declaring your effects, you do have to notate that, otherwise you are missing timing.
People rule shark you. And
some people will rule shark you. And then speaking of rule sharking, another fact with this card, if you are unawakened and you are at the 4 life, so you can awaken on your turn. If you declare this effect, you are going to miss being able to use the leader effect for free. And you might be asking, well, why is that? Well, it specifies the skill on a Gogeta leader. And for those who don't know, awakening is technically a skill, as well as the when attacking, draw 1 card. That is also a skill. So for example, if I declare this effect and then I declare awaken, I have now missed timing on this effect right here to activate main, generate marker. And then same principle, if I swing after I had activated this effect, I missed timing on my activate main effect. So really important to make sure that you are sequencing correctly with this card. Otherwise, great card, and it only gets better from here. So one of our other 5-drops, I'm gonna keep the. I think we all know what this card is, but for those who don't, it'll be a nice little surprise. But this card, on play, if you removed an energy marker to use this card, you get to draw 2 cards. And then activate main, discard 1 card from your hand, switch this card in a battle area to active mode. So this is really why it's important to always have marker with this deck. So you drop this guy, you get to draw 2 cards. So essentially, you replace him when you play him from hand. And then if you swing and you want to restand, you pitch a card from hand. Now you've netted essentially 0 cards. You haven't lost any cards. You haven't gained any cards either, but it's mainly because you haven't lost any cards. So being able to drop that on curve and then swing this, because you won't have necessarily, if this guy isn't on board, then you won't be able to regain your marker after you burned it with this guy. But yeah, that's another reason why we're running this guy, to make sure that we're ending turn with the marker. Now, this card makes the deck. This is our GOAT. Vegeta is the GOAT. You heard it right here. Vegeta is the GOAT. Permanent, if you have an energy marker and 1 Vegeta in your battle area, yes, I know that sounds kind of weird, but you can only have 1 Vegeta in your battle area. Your Son Goku with another world and special traits in your battle area can't be removed by opponent's skills, and it gets plus 10k power. So if you're following, that makes this guy a 40, that makes this guy a 35, and that makes this guy a 40. Hence why this guy is the shotgun. Makes it a 40k, makes this one a 35k, makes this a 40k. So swinging this guy, you're gonna rip at least one super combo. Potentially you'll rip 3 cards if they don't have any supes in hand. This card demands a super combo, and then this guy also is demanding a super combo. So essentially you're just ripping cards out of their hands by having the Vegeta on board with marker. And then
a bit better version too of the Trunks because this protects your Goku.
yes, and then this is also what we were talking about. So this is going to protect all of your Another World Gokus. Like I said, these are the key cards of the deck now. And these are really the important pieces that you want to be protecting. And yes, Trunks can protect these guys, but he doesn't boost them by 10k. And then on play as well, if the permanent wasn't enough, if your leader is Gogeta, during this turn, the next time you use Son Goku with Another World and his special traits, you get to reduce the cost by 3. So this guy plays for 2, and this guy plays for 1. Unfortunately, this does not make this guy free because he has the little black pip. So you do have to pay at least 1 energy. But honestly, you're usually already establishing the Vegeta on board after you already, because you want to use the reduction for these guys. But yeah, that is the list. Good point of thumb also too, going back to the Vegeta real quick. So defensively, he's a great 10k, honestly. So when your opponent is tapped out, whether it's energy or battle cards, you can use this defensively as a combo. If they have nothing else that can present an answer to any one of your Gokus with Another World, honestly, just being able to combo this defensively, and then on your next turn, dropping this for fun anyways, it's a great play, especially because you won't get the boost if you have 2 of them on board, so you might as well just use 1 defensively. And also too, if you are swinging for game, so say for instance you swung, you did your 40, you pitch a card, restand, swing another 40, and now all you have left is your leader swing, you can also go ahead and just combo that offensively because you already got your value with the Vegeta on the Goku. So especially when you're pushing for game with that last push, he does make for a great 10k to just use off the board. But yeah, that is my list. I think it's a pretty solid list. It's actually fairly consistent, especially lately. Now that I was running like 56 cards, now I dropped down to the 52 as we mentioned. But yeah, it's a really solid list. And then honestly too, most people probably won't necessarily admit this about their decks, but it's easy to play. But I would definitely say the ceiling on it is a little bit high in terms of like the potential. But as far as like getting into the game, learning a deck, this is definitely a solid deck to want to pick up and learn. It'll teach you pretty much every aspect of the game. You know, you have your freezes, you have your pops, your restands. Like, it does a little bit of everything from all the different colors.
So as we begin to kind of wrap up the video of the deck profile, I know I've been having a couple of comments from people asking if they could see like the whole list. So what we're gonna do is just kind of spread it out, and as we're spreading out right now, I'll kind of ask you a couple of questions.
Yeah.
What's the difference you'd say, kind of like with your list versus another Gogeta player's list? Is it going to be mainly Another World package versus kind of like
Yeah, I definitely, for the most part, it is going to be, so like we kind of touched upon earlier, I am primarily the only Gogeta player here, but as far as the Another World package, that's mainly where the big difference is going to rely on. You know, if most people are playing black good stuff, it's going to be around the same cards. The only difference is going to be ratios. Those are really gonna be what are the key differentiating factors in black good stuff versus the Another World deck list. Like I said, Another World is going to be running literally nothing but Another World traded cards. There you can see at the bottom. They will be running things like they won't be running Pan because they do have a bounce, but they are going to be running stuff like 10 times, They might be running the Paraparas. They might also be running the Bardock combo as well. Uh, they definitely won't be running this just because of the fact that it would be a little too clunky in the list. That's just my personal opinion. Uh, I don't think they would be running it. I don't think it's really that viable in the Another World list. Uh, Especially because you don't need it for the draw either, because PyCon is essentially, so for those who don't know, PyCon is a 2-drop, 0 combo, on play. You can add up to 1 card from life to hand, and then if you have the marker, you get to search top 2, I believe it is, for any card with Another World. It doesn't specify any kind of cost. You just have to have the marker. And then I am running a little bit out of room, but that's okay. We will find some room. But that is why you would run the Another World super combos, because it does not specify that you cannot search for them. But yeah, those are going to be primarily the big differences between my list and Another World list. Like I said, black good stuff, and this kind of a prime example is GT Goku. Similar ratios, except you would cut out all of the Another World stuff. Your Bardock ratio would be different. This would be the new Goku's lineage. Your double striker would be the Goku GT double strike. But yeah, like, it's mainly when it comes to black, especially like lately, well, I guess right now is a bad example, but prior to this, a lot of black were running like some of the exact same cards. It's just player preference in terms of ratios. Black is honestly just really a utility color. It does a little bit of everything. It has pops, has bounce, has freezing, it has restands as well. So it really does a little bit of everything of all the colors. But yeah, the main difference between this list and, say, you know, someone else who you're going to run into on the client who's playing Gogeta is probably just ratios. There's no one right answer necessarily. It's just kind of finding that player preference of what you want to be running and how many you want to be running.
Well, Mike, as we close up the video, kind of something we always like to tell our subscribers and maybe people that are just watching for the first time. Don't forget to like this video. Feel free to comment if you have any questions on the build. I know Mike pops in from time to time. He'll be checking the comments too, kind of help you guys with any questions you might guys have. And if this is your first time watching the channel, please subscribe. It also helps us get more motivated to